Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Haitian Talk. It is once again Financial Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. So, today I'm going to share some quick tips for you guys that might help you remain afloat during these uncertain times. Now, we all know what's going on with the coronavirus still. Now, I'm hearing a new Delta variant that's out now, so we might end up shutting down once again during the winter months. We don't know, but a lot of companies, as you know, went out of business due to the pandemic and they were unable to remain afloat. Now, a lot of companies are now searching for employees. A lot of people don't want to go back to work because the stimulus package, the stimulus checks, along with the extended unemployment that people are receiving, is greater than what they were getting paid doing these blue collar jobs. So a lot of retail stores, restaurants, call centers, they're having a hard time right now finding people. So right now you could say it is an employee market, and that will put you in a great negotiating position. You could actually negotiate your salary now. As a matter of fact, you could actually bump up a few grades. I helped a couple of people a few months ago. One lady, she was receiving her unemployment and she was happy, and I said, listen, this is the opportune time to get back in the job market because you have negotiating power. So what I would like for you to try, go in and apply for a retail job. She was working in retail for some years, and I think she was getting paid around $12 for 2 or 3 years. And I said, hey, you know what, go in and apply for a job, and what I want you to do is whatever they offer you, I want you to increase it by a couple of dollars. And let's just say they offered her, 14 or $15 an hour. I said, listen, why don't you say, I won't come in unless you pay me $18 an hour. A lot of companies are desperate right now, and they will hire people. As a matter of fact, I keep seeing signs stating, sign on $500, $1,000 sign on bonus. So they're really trying to lure people in. So go in and ask them for a couple of dollars more than what they are offering. And she did that, and they did offer her the position. I said, okay, great. So now let's try this. How about you go online and find a retail job, a retail company that's looking for a retail manager, and apply for that position. And whatever they are offering, ask them to increase it and see what happened. And sure enough, they offered her the position. And now she's working as a retail manager as opposed to a retail clerk or retail assistant for $12 an hour. She's getting paid, I think, $18 an hour plus. And she's happy. And I said, you have to remember, now you have a management title. So even if, let's say, when everything goes back to normal or the new normal, they decide they don't want you anymore, you still have that manager title, and you could take that title and get another job elsewhere. You will never have to go back to the $12 an hour retail position. So that's one. I helped another guy, and this case is a little different. He went to his landlord, or I told him to go to his landlord and ask not to increase his rent, because the landlord, she realized that people are getting a lot of free money from the government, so she tried to increase the rent. So he went to him calmly and humbly and said, hey, I've been here for a couple of years, I've been paying my rent on time. She said, yes, you have. And would it be possible for you not to increase my rent? And she asked, is everything okay? And he said, yeah, everything is fine, but I want to make sure everything stays fine, so can you not increase my rent? And she came back and said, okay, I won't increase your rent. I said, okay, let's try this. I said, okay, let's push the envelope a little bit. So I said, okay, so can you go back and say, thank you so much for not increasing my rent. Now, would it be possible for you to decrease my rent by about $200? And he said, no. And I said, yes. Go on and try to see what happens. So, so sure enough, he went back to his to his landlord and said, thank you for not increasing my rent. Would it be possible for you to perhaps decrease it for the next year for about, about $200. And she said no. She said no. And but I'll do it for 125. I'll decrease it down to 125, and that's it. And he came back astonished. I said, listen, better the devil you know than the devil you don't know. And he asked me, well, what does that mean? I said, well, you have been living there for, a couple of years now. You have been paying your rent consistently with no problem. Your landlord rather keep you, right, knowing your track record, than getting someone else in, right, kicking you out and allowing someone else to come in, increase the rent about $200. Yeah, she's getting more money, but yet she doesn't know who this person is. She doesn't know if this person loses his or her job, what's going to happen. And it's very difficult to kick people out, especially to evict people, especially if that person has a child, especially during the coronavirus. There's a lot of protections, a lot of laws protecting people right now, because these times are very uncertain. So basically, better the devil you know. So she wants to keep you and keep you happy. $120, no sweat. She'll be fine. And she said to him, yeah, a year from now we will revisit this situation. And he said, absolutely, let's revisit it. And again, guys, so I told him, you know what, take this money and put it away. The $120 less that you will be paying on your rent, take that money and put it in a savings account, because you don't know what's going to happen. So that's one trick, decreasing your rent. Now, another trick that you can try as well, it's with your credit card companies. You can actually call the credit card companies, car note, mortgage company, all the lenders, all your creditors. Call every single person and ask them, can I skip a month? Can I skip one payment or two payments with no penalties? And see what they say. I mean, again, the worst thing they could say to you is, no, we don't have that. Pay your bills like you're supposed to. Or they might say, yes, you can actually skip 1 month with no penalties. Right now, I heard there's a lot of programs, a lot of companies trying to, give people a little leeway. So if you have been paying your bills on time consistently, even if you have skipped a few payments, you forgot to make a payment, regardless of what your situation is, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is call your creditors, call every person you owe and say, can I skip a month with no penalty? And that money that you are going to pay, that $400 car note you are going to pay, you can now take that money and put it in a savings account. Not go on Amazon and purchase things that you really don't need, but take that money and put it in a savings account, just in case things go awry once again and we're in a shutdown and you lose your job. At least you have a little cushion you could sit on for a few months. So imagine $400 car note, $120 now a month. You no longer have to pay $200 a month. I mean, really add up how much money you will have saved in your saving account, if you skip a month. So go right ahead. You have absolutely nothing to lose if you call your creditors. And also keep in mind that before you do skip a month, make sure you get all the agreements in writing. Okay, do not skip a month just because you spoke to the representative on the phone. Nope, have them send you an official email or have it in writing, put in somewhere stating that you can skip the month of September or the month of October. Make sure you have all of that information in writing. And of course, I have sample letters if you guys need it. I actually had to do this, like I said, a couple of years ago for myself. When I was strapped for cash, I called everyone, and a handful of them said, yes, I skipped my car note payment, which was around like $340, $360 during that time. Credit card companies. Now, this is the good part about having good credit, because when you have good credit, there are a lot of advantages that comes with that. But we are in a very uncertain time. We have the coronavirus still raging, so a lot of companies are a little bit more lenient. So even if your credit is less than perfect, you've missed a couple of payments throughout the years, still give it a shot. Give them a call and see what they say. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me, and I'll see you next time.